Okay, Academic Search Premier is one of the bigger databases you can use. It's a really good place to find your scholarly journal articles, but you can also find magazines and newspapers here. So I'm going to search for my basic topic, kidney sales. Okay, so just searching on my main term, I haven't narrowed it really very much. I've got almost 8,000 articles coming up. And just going down here and looking at what's coming up, notice how on the left hand side we have this little icon and it says academic journal. That means that this is a scholarly journal. This is the American Journal of Bioethics. This is a publication written by professors who teach bioethics. They might have slightly different names, but these are researchers in the field, lawyers and thinkers, people who work at think tanks and universities, who write about this topic, who study this topic. And when they go to publish an article in a scholarly journal, there are high standards. The audience is for professionals in the field, for academic researchers in the field. And before that article is published, it's reviewed by what's called a peer review process. That means other professors, other scholars, other experts in the field read this article on behalf of the magazine and make sure that the scholarship and the research meet the high standards of the magazine. So, because it goes through that review process, it is considered much more credible than your regular newspaper article, also because of the expertise level. So these are very good sources. They're very trustworthy, very stringent in their approach to the subject. The only downside is that they are written for experts, which means that the language is harder for ordinary people and college students to understand, which is why I'm only requiring you to use one in your paper. You can use more than one. You're going to need to take some more time to read it than you would for a regular article. It's going to be a little tougher to get through it and understand it, but it's also going to be worth it. So, another thing I want to draw attention to for you is for each of these, you can read the title and see if it makes sense for what you want to do in your paper. You can also read a list of subject terms, which you can use for further searching. See here, we've got kidneys, sale of organs, moral and ethical aspects, right? These are all things you could type up here to narrow down this search, and you may well want to do that. Notice how a lot of these say PDF full text. That means the whole article is here. So if I want to use this article, I can come in here, I can click on this PDF, I can read the PDF, and then I can use these tools to cite it, to print it. I usually email them to myself, or you can make a folder, make sure you get the citation. So this is the entire article. You'll notice that in a scholarly journal, we have a list of references on the last page. Here are the 25 sources that were used to write this article. Usually, scholarly journals will have statistics, tables and charts for data. Obviously, this will vary by subject. There will be an abstract which explains the general situation, a list of keywords again that you can use for further searching, And then there will be subheadings, the introduction, materials and methods. This can help you write your summary, all of these subheadings. So when you have one of these, you're going to need to read it carefully. You can also, oh, there's a download list link here that you want to use if you're going to save the file. Okay. So that's what you want to do if you're going to use the file. Sometimes you'll see this and it's not here. Find full text versus PDF full text. So this means the article isn't here, and if you want to use it, you're going to need to ask a librarian to help you find it. They can probably find it for you and get it through an interlibrary loan or maybe in a different database, but it's not here. It's not in this particular database. Okay, you can also find periodicals, which are magazines written for the general public. So notice when you click, you can do this for any issue. When you click on New Internationalist, and it tells you the information about the magazine. And this one is not peer reviewed. So if you start here, this one says academic journal. When I click on the journal name, I can see that it's peer reviewed. So not only does this icon tell me that it's a scholarly journal, but I can actually go into the record and see for sure. When it says periodical, it's not a scholarly journal, but that doesn't mean it isn't a good source for my research project. So this is this magazine article called Perpetual Scars. So this is exactly the kind of in-depth, popular source that I want you to use. You'll notice that it has a picture. You won't find too many pictures in your academic journal articles. The language is written in a way that is easier for the average person to read. It'll have things like these call outs that help you understand it. The graphs and charts are more accessible for non-scientists. This one is particularly nice on the topic because it's got little vignettes of different people who have been involved in this. Photographs, more photographs, and also all the white text. This is obviously many pages long. It's got an in-depth take on the subject. So this, even though it's not a scholarly journal, it's a credible publication that I found in a library database, and this could really help me write my paper on kidney sales. It's got a lot of information that might be useful to me. So again, if I wanted to use it, I'm going to download the PDF. And over here, I want to make sure that I use the citation tool. So in Academic Search Premier, you have to scroll down the list and get to MLA, and then you can just copy that. Copy it into the file that you're keeping into your annotated bibliography. Just do Control C and then paste it. So make sure that you get MLA. So again, like last week, we want to make sure that we download the PDF and save it to a file. We want to make sure that we get our citation, and we want to make sure that we print it. Okay, coming back, oops. coming back to our results list, here you might want to narrow it down by typing a second word because that's a lot of sources. So now we're focusing on just the legalization aspect. And again, this might be what you need, this might not. You can limit your sources to full text. That means you only get articles that are here. You can also change the date so that you're getting only more recent articles. And then you can use these expanders will make your search bigger and limiters will make it smaller. So that's how you search in Academic Search Premier.